Has India offered the US zero tariffs? That headline is making waves right now, especially after US President Donald Trump's latest claim. Let's break it down. In a recent statement, Donald Trump said that India has agreed to remove almost all tariffs on American goods.
Because India is one of the highest tariff nations in the world. It's very hard to sell into India. And they've offered us a deal where basically they're willing to literally charge us no tariff. So we go from the highest tariff, you couldn't do business in India. We're not even a top 30 in India because the tariff is so high, to a point where they have actually told us, I assume you too, Scott, you were working on that also, that there will be no tariff, right? Would you say that's a difference? They're the highest and now they're saying no tariff. But I said to...
In simple words, he claims India is ready to let US products enter the country without any extra import taxes. Sounds like a big deal, right? But hold on, India has a different story. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar responded, nothing is decided till everything is decided. In short, India says talks are still happening and no final deal has been signed yet.
Charge us no tariff.
Any trade deal has to be mutually beneficial. Any trade deal has to work for both the countries.
We're not even a top 30 in India because the tariff is so high, to a point where they have actually told us, I assume you too, Scott, you were working on that also, that there will be no tariff, right? Would you say that's a difference?
I think that would be our expectation from the trade deal. And until that is done, I think any judgment on it would be premature.
We have Apple, as you know, it's coming in. And I had a little problem with Tim Cook yesterday. I said to him, Tim, you're my friend. I treated you very good. You're coming in with $500 billion, but now I hear you're building all over India. I don't want you building in India. You can build in India.
What is the background? In February this year, soon after presiding over as the US President, Trump pointed how India had been charging a very high tariff.
India traditionally is the highest, just about the highest tariffed country. They charge more tariffs than any other country. And I mean, we'll be talking about that, but again, whatever they charge us, we're charging them. So it works out very well. It's a beautiful, simple system. And we don't have to worry about, gee, we're charging too much or too little. But traditionally, India is right at the top of the pack, pretty much. There are a couple of smaller countries that are actually more. But India is they charge tremendous tariffs.
Not only India, Trump came down heavily on countries like Canada, China, Mexico and others too.
You know, we subsidize a lot of countries and keep them going and keep them in business. In the case of Mexico, it's $300 billion a year. In the case of Canada, it's close to $200 billion a year. And I say, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I mean, at what point do we say, you got to work for yourselves and this is why we have the big deficits, this is why we have that.
This was soon followed by the threat of reciprocal tariffs and then a 90-day pause on the same for the countries to correct their course. In April, Trump declared a national emergency, citing ongoing US goods trade deficits as a threat to national security and the economy. Why this is important? Let's understand why this trade issue with the US is so important for India. India and the US are huge trading partners. In fact, the United States is India's largest trading partner and it continued to be so for the fourth year in a row in the financial year 24-25, with total bilateral trade reaching more than $130 billion. According to official data released by the Ministry of Commerce, India's exports to the US in financial year 25 increased 11.59% to $86.51 billion. India exports more to the US it imports, creating a trade surplus. Also, according to a report by the Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relations, India charges 5 times higher tariffs than the US. Trump has been pushing for fair and reciprocal tariffs, even threatening to hike them up to 27%.
We will sign some deals, but much bigger than that is we're going to put down the price that people are going to have to pay to shop in the United States. Think of us as a super luxury store. a store that has the goods. You're going to come and you're going to pay a price, and we're going to give you a very good price. We're going to make very good deals. And in some cases, we'll adjust. But that's where it is.
On May 9th, Reuters reported that India has offered to slash its tariff gap with the US to less than 4% in exchange for an exemption from President Trump's current and potential tariff hike. What's next? For now, both countries are still negotiating. Trump has given a 90-day window to finalize the trade deal. Talks are ongoing, and US Vice President J.D. Vance recently visited India to push things forward. So has India offered zero tariffs? Not yet. But the talks are serious, and soon we will know how the trade unfolds between the biggest partners.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.